We kind of
Oh shit.
They're watching us again.
The
All right.
FBI.
So as most of you guys know, a couple weeks ago we kind of changed these up. We moved it from Wednesday to Friday. So we're just going over what happened this week. How valid was the Sunday analysis, and did it follow our trade paths? Did it do what we expected? So let's just get into it and kind of break it down. See what happened.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah. So Nick's gonna go ahead and go first. He's gonna pull up the analysis that was posted on Sunday. We'll take a look, like he said, how everything played out. Let me just give you permission. The meeting will be recorded, so we'll post it up on YouTube afterwards, and we'll show you if you took some of the trades from the session. How things shook out.
absolutely. So we're gonna start off with DXY. Just gonna cover the 4 hour. Actually, I'll explain it first, then I'll go back and kind of see how it played out. So, originally on Sunday, these were the two trade path ideas. The blue path was the most likely, and this was pretty much what we thought was going to be the next immediate move. It was either going to push down or was going to push up, right? So obviously, it continued to range. Didn't really give us too much of a push lower. It kind of just played within this upper part of the range, 90 as support, 92.5 as resistance. So it did just kind of consolidate a little bit more and then took off at the end of the week here. Clearly very bullish. We're blowing through key resistance. So maybe we'll reach the top of this range here, 97.5. Maybe we'll get a pullback, but we're going to cover that more on Sunday. Let me just show you guys how this played out. So this is TradingView, obviously, where the ideas are posted. So this was DXY right here. So these are the ideas, right? We were expecting it to either give us a lower high here, make a push toward the bottom of the range, or we need to see a higher low above resistance at 92.5 because we had a bit of a fake out here. We wanted to see some confirmation before we we're bullish on the dollar. So as we talked about, it ranged and now it's pushing to the upside. So ideally next week we'll be looking for some sort of pullback, or we'll come up with another trade idea if it's going to reverse at 97.5. So that was DXY. That played out not as expected. Sometimes that happens, guys. The market just kind of goes sideways, doesn't show too much movement, or maybe later in the week it'll show movement, which is not really as the analysis suggested, but it happens. It's part of trading. So AU is next. It was looking primarily bearish. However, we were consolidating for quite a while. Look all the way back to the beginning of April, mid-April. Been pretty much in this range since then. We had a little fake out up here, came right back down. Some could call this a pretty advanced head and shoulders, multiple shoulders on each side. It's definitely pushing lower. Could have been a massive reversal. So we had these two trade ideas, right? We wanted to confirm a lower high below the range for us to say this is definitely going short. We definitely broke lower, and it's showing strong signs of a bearish trend and continuation. So this was the likely trade path. But it also was a possibility that if it did continue bullish, it would just pull back into this range, and then we would have to reanalyze and see where price action could go from there. So let's see how it played out. Again, just kind of sideways movement. It's pushing lower now, so this trade path could be valid for next week. I will do a new analysis on this and give you guys the new trade path, but this is ideally what we want to see. A little bit of a push lower, clear break of the range. Now we need to confirm with the lower high. Okay, so then as you guys can see here on the chart, live chart, same thing. Okay. And again, this will be a fresh analysis on Sunday once we're starting the week off. So that's AU. Let's check out AJ. So again, pretty much just ranging on AJ here on the 4 hour. We really wanted to be conservative with this, let price action do its thing. If it continues to range, no problem. If it looks like it's going to break to the upside or downside, we're looking for a higher low or lower high. And that's when we'll consider entering into the market. Let's see what happened. Just more ranging, guys, more and more ranging. Some of you could have caught some, lower time frame trends within the range if you wanted to play it that way. But these were the conservative scenarios for this week. Obviously, none of them played out. So this is probably going to carry over into next week. That analysis will also be included on Sunday. Let's cover UJ. So this one was interesting. Overall, we were bullish for quite a while. Pretty healthy channel here. Pretty wide swings. And, it was pulling back. So we just formed a high, nice double top, nice little M pattern. So for this to come down, give us a higher low off the 200 EMA, the supporting trend line, key support at 109.15. essentially there's a nice confluence area there. So we're expecting a bit of a reversal. That was our most likely trade path and trade scenario. But if it was going to break, we're waiting for a lower high to then enter on. So let's see how it played out. Okay, so kind of reversed, not with the momentum we wanted to really see. This would have been a lot cleaner if it just had kind of continued off this momentum here. It didn't pull back, but so it's still technically valid, for now. So it could pull back for another test off 109.15. From this point, we're going to be looking for higher lows to then enter on. Okay, but I'll reanalyze this for next week. Present it to you guys Sunday, and then we'll come up with some new trade ideas. All right, so here's EJ. On to the next one. I adjust this a little bit, a little more. I want to see a little more price action here. So this was bullish. It started in a pretty healthy bullish trend here, bullish channel. I mean, this is pretty clear structure. We're breaking resistance, testing its support, so on and so on. And then we got to our high at around 134 flat. We just started flatlining, clear lower time frame range. Then it started to fall off. We're pulling back through the MAs. We're kind of blowing through support levels at this point. And we're expecting it to continue down into a more key level, our weekly, at 132.75, or we were waiting for a higher low back above that support that it just blew through. And we're going to look for a continuation to the upside. So let's see how it played out. Okay, so this kind of followed. I mean, it definitely gave us a lower high here. There is structured here, a resistance level in here, structure that was broken on a lower time frame that it did come back and retest. Pretty dramatic. Definitely, if you guys entered on here, or if some people entered on here, this was definitely a bit of a stop hunt. Came right up, hit where your stops probably would have been, and then came right back down. So the real entry probably would have been over here. Nice little confirmation on the lower time frame. Definite 1 hour, 30-minute entries all in here. And then, yeah, it fell down to our support level, our weekly at 132.75. So we're going to reanalyze this and come up with some new trade scenarios for next week. Let's cover gold, which is the last one that I had for you guys. This one was overall pretty bullish. It was sitting at minor resistance right here. This little zone, pretty much 1895. Again, lower time frame zone. So it didn't have too much significance, not like our support at 1875. Clearly massive rejection from there. So we were looking to continue long. So I wanted to see a higher low, some sort of strong characteristics of a bullish trend that hinting that it's going to continue. And then I was targeting 1930 as resistance, also good confluence as our negative 27% fib level is there. So this was the most likely trade path. But we also had, the bearish scenario where we needed to see a lower high below support to confirm that this is going to push lower. So let's see how it played out. Again, just flatlined as USD kind of did this week. So this has definitely been kind of the trend this week, just pretty sideways movement on a lot of pairs. So this is probably going to be generally still valid going into next week. But yeah, we're still in this zone, so we're still looking bullish. So I'll give you guys a new analysis on Sunday, and we'll see. Maybe next week we can get some definitive movement so we can catch some good trades. All right, but that's what I covered this week. These 6 guys, refer to this in Discord or Telegram if you guys want to, keep up with this during the week, see how it played out. And yeah, I'll have 6 more for you guys on.
Yeah, that's all the swing strategy trades from earlier in the week, like Nick said. Just kind of keeping it quick, just covering how all the analysis played out. And yeah, I mean, as always, you got your levels marked on there. You just gotta kind of wait for the levels to be hit and make your move, when they get there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll share up mine. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just drop it in the chat. We can do some Q&A at the end of the session. Let's see, because I know someone asked about the VWAP. We're not going to cover the VWAP at all in this call. We're just going to focus solely on the swing trading. I'm going to start with Euro USD. You could even just come in here again. All the analysis was posted last week in the Discord and the Telegram. So if we come over here, we could just play this one out. We had Euro USD, exactly what I was looking for. On the weekly time frame, we're at that level of resistance. So look how in the weekly time frame, guys, we were inching up to this previous resistance level right here. We had this doji candle form, this spinning top. another low volume candle at the top. So this thing was just showing signs of weakness after this push upward, and we were at this monthly resistance level. That's why I was so confident in the short idea. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we were in an uptrend, and then we had that nice break of this level. So we were looking for buys as long as price maintained above this 12164 level. Then it broke below here last week. So right opening the week, guys, this is where I entered in the trade for EU, and I'll just go ahead and pull it up. So I've got EU on here from earlier in the week. I literally entered it on Sunday on the call with you guys, and then just let it run for the whole week because these are swing trading ideas. And then as we could see how it played out, if we come up, it was in drawdown for like pretty much the whole week. It was in drawdown for the whole week. We had stops around this level, so it came, a couple pips away from stops. It came 10 pips away from hitting stop loss. And then we ended up just respecting this 1.21 level, 1.22, and price just started shooting to the downside. So if we go actually on the chart here, we're in some profit right now. Price is up about 1 to 1.8 risk reward. So our target, our ultimate target is down here at 1.99, 1.999. So that would be a risk reward of 2. We're shooting for the minimum 2 to 1 risk reward on the swing trade ideas. And as you could see, I mean, it's playing out really well. Like, this is exactly what we want to see. We're having a break of momentum for sure. First, all the way up in this area is when the momentum broke. We were clearly to the upside, forming those higher highs, higher lows. And I have it marked out just with the path tool to make it, super clear for you guys. And then we had this higher low here, which we shot up from. And then that's when we started to turn over. We had this lower high that ultimately broke the support level at 1.217. And that's when we started to look for the shorts. We shorted it right here. Could have even shorted it again. This is another kind of liquidity zone up here at this previous high point right here. We had, and on the swing trading ideas, this is what I look for. I either look to enter at the previous low or at the previous high. This is the previous low. This is where I entered at. We respected this level, so that was my entry signal. But then price shot up and then retested this previous high. So then we had a nice resistance level here. That's what it tested. Could have then entered again, even in that area with like a limit order or something. And then at this point, I mean, think of what is price going to do at this point? It's most likely going to continue to trend to the downside. It could retrace all the way up to this point, but as long as it respects this area, it's still in a downtrend. So we're in a good spot right now. We're in a really good spot to continue to swing trade this position. And like Nick said, like we'll look at for Sunday when we hop on Sunday's call, which is free again. We'll hop on and we'll do all the analysis for next week, and I'll like tell you guys exactly what I'm thinking. But like this is just looking at on this time frame. I'm looking for a continuation. Look at the daily. This definitely forms some sort of head and shoulders pattern right there, and then the weekly time frame, is falling off. So definitely played out well with this one, but it tested our patience. We were in drawdown, I think, literally till today. So the trade was in drawdown the whole week, and then literally at 5 a.m. today, it started to drop. But once this happened, this long ass wick, like this engulfing, this resistance, that's another sell signal. So that's when we're looking at getting out entries again, kind of on this. So that was EU. Let's bump over now to USEF. This is the next one we did some analysis on. So USEF going into the week on the weekly time frame, we were up. We had this large push to the downside, and then we had this spinning top candle, doji candle. We had the support level down here, which ultimately could have been tested again, but this was showing us easily signs of reversal here. So I was anticipating like a push up, and then on the 4-hour, we saw price broke the trend line, so it broke momentum, started to form a new high, and then form this new higher low. And then ultimately, we were looking to buy right here. And you could see how it played out. This one smashed stop loss. So we had entered here. Price came down to the low, retested this low. And that's what I was talking about on this weekly chart. We have this like 8,900 level. So price was kind of making its way now back towards that area. And then as you can see, like today, it started to shoot up. The dollar started to gain some strength. But straight up, like this one just didn't play out. This one didn't play out. Took a 1% loss on this one. But the idea was still strong. It still lined up with all the rules. You know, had this new high, had the higher low at the 618 area. You know, we had all of our wicks. All this momentum started to slow up. So I'm still going to take that trade 10 out of 10 times. So let's go over to U-Cad. This one was like the same, basically the same position, the same idea. And we had two scenarios here. Either we were going to respect this level, this 4-hour support level, or we were going to drop below and then start to look for sells once this thing did make its way to the downside. So on the weekly time frame, we were seeing signs of reversal. So we had these dojis forming. That's why I was anticipating it to reverse. And then we saw this like falling wedge pattern right here. So that's a reversal pattern. And then it broke above the resistance right there. So this one played out much differently than USEF, even though they were in the same exact spot, guys. This was one that actually played out the way that we thought USEF would play out. So this is why, you know, it's okay to lose some trades, guys. We had this one play out really well, respected the support level the whole week, and then just shot up today. So this thing ended up moving up about 80 pips, 90 pips to the upside. And if you just entered on Sunday based on the analysis, you guys would have gotten in on this trade. You know, it's completely free. So that's U-Cad. Let's go to GU next. This one was a good one. So GU, little different here. So we had on the weekly time frame, we could see that price was creeping up, and I'll just bring this one up. Price was creeping to the upside, very much like EU, same idea. We had this weekly resistance level at 142, and then we had all these dojis. So we had these doji candles pushing to the upside, spinning top, wicks. So this is just telling us that price is struggling to break higher. Tons of resistance here. So looking for that short idea. On the daily time frame, we had a bullish trend. So price was in an uptrend, but we were just struggling at this high. And I wasn't going to short until we broke below the support level. And then as you can see on the 4-hour, we were already making that lower high here. So this would have been an early short. But I was ultimately waiting for the level to break. And then we could see the whole week, it just ranged. So it just continued to form lower highs, respect this high, test this low. Now we're finally starting to push down. So we could have taken shorts just based on this level up here for the whole week. But like just like I said in the beginning, we're looking for this level to break, because when you're in a range, you're just going to trade the range. It's not trending. But once it breaks out, that's when you can trend trade it. So this week, GU could have just traded the range pretty much the entire week, considering we were waiting for this to break. So that's that one. Let's go to NZD USD next. And if we even come on, let's take a look at, let's pull up U-Cad on here. Let's take a look at this. So this again was that trade on U-Cad. I'm still in that one right now. So this thing is pushing up. So we got U-Cad, got 1% on it. It's pushing up right now. The target's at negative 618. Let me see what I have my target at. 1.21890. So that's where we're pushing towards, literally right at this level. That's when we're going to take the trade. And as you can see, price just consolidated the whole week. Literally the same idea as USEF. Same idea as USEF, hit the level, you know, entered on the signal, just didn't play out, which is completely fine, guys. So ultimately, U-Cad did play out, which is good. And then we had GU, which on the call on Sunday, I personally didn't take this, but I did mention that these were the two scenarios. You could have shorted it right as price came up here, because basically, let's actually go back. This is when the market opened on let's see, on Sunday, right here. So the market opened right there. So this is what we were looking for. We were looking for price to either respect the high and to short it, or to break the resistance and to go long. As you could see, price came up, came down first, but then it came up. We started forming doji candle or spinning top candle at the resistance at the lower high. So that's kind of the entry signal right there. And then price started to push, pulled back, and then pushed to the downside. So it actually pulled all the way back to entry again. And then it came down to hit our target. So that was another trade idea that was obviously given. And then now we're on what? Did we do this one yet? Nzd USD. So let's take a look at Nzd USD next. Let's come to the analysis. Boom. Right here. So this is one that already hit the take profit. So going into the week, the weekly time frame, we'll just come around to the chart. On this one, we had a weekly time frame. Like if you come on the Sunday calls, you know, like we were calling this out. The resistance was there. Boom. This high was tested several times. And then as we made our way down to the daily time frame, it was like, okay, daily time frame is looking kind of ugly. Don't know how to anticipate this, too much. We had an uptrend kind of going here, but like a lot going on. We need to break things down a little bit more. And then the 4 hours ultimately where I started to make my decision on what to do with this pair. So 4 hour time frame, we had the resistance up here. Boom. I'm just going to delete this. So we had the resistance up here. This monthly resistance level, that's the level that was respected over and over. Then we broke support. And the swing strategies, we're just looking for the retest. So we had the retest of the resistance right there. We had 618 on the fibs. And then we had this engulfing. So literally after the engulfing is like where we were trying to enter. And I'm just going to mark this up. This was, if you were on Sunday's call, this was the trade. Set a limit order here. I had NU. See if I can get this on here. I had NU, took the order 722, whatever. This one smashed, take profit. 722, that was the level. So I put a limit order up here. Price came up, went into some drawdown, hit the engulfing. That's ultimately like your final, I'm going to enter. And then things shot down. Did fuck around for the week, but it finally hit take profit right now. And now it's really moving. So we'll go over that one on Sunday as well. And I think there was one more. I don't know if it's here though. I did we'll just look at GJ real quick, the fan favorite. This one I didn't take any trades on, but the idea was there and it was solid for the week. If we come up to the weekly, we were all the way at this high point. If we look left, we had support turned into resistance right there. So I was anticipating the reversal off of the level. Coming to the daily time frame started to get really weak going into the week. That was last Friday. We had an engulfing. So that was telling me that there's probably going to be sellers. And then coming out of the 4 hour time frame, this was the idea going into the week. Right here, literally just looking for price to break support and continue in this downtrend because we're not going to enter here on a short. So once price broke right here, then we're looking to take entries as soon as it retests this area. And just because this level is strong, this monthly level, in a perfect world, we're kind of waiting for this to break. Not that. We're waiting for this to break, or we're shorting it based on a retest. Always wait for the retest, guys. Retest of this level. So these are like two solid levels to take trades from. So as you can see, this did break though, it did break support. And then it came up, rejected it, came up, rejected that level, came up again. So this thing fucked around for the whole week, but it is showing signs of now going to the downside. So those levels were definitely respected. The trend, just look how the trend is, guys. The trend's very fucking bearish. We're clearly in a downtrend. Next trade idea would be to come to this low, come back up to that area, retest, and then just bring on your fib. Price does make its way down there. Then you have some fibs on here. So we're going into, this is like real quick, a trade idea kind of for next week. We're gonna have to see it push a little bit more before I would actually execute this. But this is a very safe trade, 2-to-1 risk reward. So yeah, that's all the trades that I have for you guys. We'll be posting this on YouTube afterwards. This is the market analysis review, and we'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz, and we'll go over all the analysis, for next week, and hopefully you guys take some of the trades so you can catch some motherfucking pips. I think Nick might be muted. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got Nick.
Yeah,
back on.
I always forget. Once you mute it, I can't unmute it. And this
Oh
one.
yeah, you're done.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how we break it down, pretty much week to week. We'll start the week off with you. We'll end the week with you, and cover pretty much all our thoughts and ideas. So, what time frame are you using for entries? Is it 1 hour? Okay to enter. Usually 30-minute or less is what you want to actually execute on. At least that's what I do personally for this strategy.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been using the 30-minute and the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but like guys, on Sunday's call, I just straight up was entering on the 4 hour. Like I was just entering based on we were at the potential lower high and we had that like 4 hour, because we were talking about this like at this point, if we're seeing dojis and like engulfings, like it's the 30-minute, like we see, you know what I mean? If we go down to the 30-minute, we know what it's going to show us. It'll be a break of structure, you know what I mean? It'll be some sort of break of a trend line, whatever. So if you know how to like utilize time frame correlation, you don't even need to necessarily go down time frames.
Right. Yeah, you could just see, you understand what's happening.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know what but yeah, to your point, 30-minute, 1 hour.
But yeah, guys, so that's pretty much it, as Angelo said, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. I mean, yeah.
Boom. Yeah, we'll catch you guys Sunday. Enjoy the week. Definitely an up and down week this week, but the swing strategy was on point. Swing strategy was definitely on point. So we'll catch you guys Sunday. Peace out.
Good weekend. Peace, guys.